Okay, so here we have an Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 PCB, and there's no blue. It's got red, it's got green, does not have blue. And it's not a problem with the monitor or wiring or anything, because this was sent to me because it has no blue, and I have no blue on my test setup either. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on just so you can see what it's doing. And as we can see here, it's mostly green because there's no blue. If I just go ahead and skip past this here. And we should get, you can clearly tell there's no blue. This should have a blue background on this, is nothing. And if we get to the UMK3 logo here, there's no blue. It's just red and green. So let's turn this off, see if we can figure it out. Alright, problem number one is these stupid feet that are on here. If you look at this board, it's bowed like a banana. And it's bowed because someone's got these feet on here that they mount it in the board, or they mount the board in the machine or wherever they have it, and it allows the board to flex down. I don't know if you can tell here when I push on it, the board, see how it just kind of bows and flexes down? And you can look at the board and it's just bent. And so the step number one is to remove these mounting feet, because it's just a terrible idea unless you put the one here and you put one up here. No, they gotta go. So those are gonna come off first before I do anything else with this board. And I'm gonna send them back to the owner of this, not installed, and they're gonna have to make a decision on what they want to do, because this, I do not recommend these at all, this type of setup. Unless you put them on all 6 locations, no, it's just bad. And I just recommend, you know, it's missing all of the plastic standoffs. So if that's the case, just go ahead and screw the machine directly to the inside of the wall of the cabinet, because that's a much better option here than whatever's going on with these feet. And that screw is nice and stripped. See if I can get this out this way. Nope. That is nice and stripped. I'm going to have to get some vice grips here. Hang on a second. Okay, so first let's try a bigger size of driver. Okay, that seemed to work. Okay. I mean, I may have a bunch of these. I've got parts boards here that I steal stuff off of. I'll probably just put, see, I got all the feet on here. I may just transpose these out for this board here, and that way the owner doesn't have to use these standoffs, because they are not a good thing to have. Not on a board like this. Okay, so now we are free of that, unencumbered by, and we can see the board here. Look at this, the whole board wobbles because it's bent. But anyway, all right, so let's continue on here. So if we go to the blue input here, I believe it is this pin here. The previous owner had already tried to do a little bit of testing on this, and it was kind of above their ability, so I said I'll take a look. They contacted me. I said I'll see what I can do, see if I can figure it out. So I think I already have this solved, but I want to show, before I do any work to it, what exactly is going on here. If we look at the schematic, let me pull the schematic up here. Oh, all right, where did we go? There it is. Okay. So if we look, I took pictures earlier for other reasons, because a lot of people like to visually learn through you know, post step by step and things like that. So I've taken pictures of this as well as we'll do in a video here. But if we look at the schematic here, let's zoom in. You can see the blue input comes through right here. It says blue gun. It goes through C266 and C267. Those are some filter caps and an inductor here, L79. Now that's all this stuff right here. There is, I don't know if this is L79. One of these two inductors here are L79, but those are actually good. 267 is this capacitor right here, and 266 is this one here. Now the blue input is this pin here, or this edge pin right here. And you see it goes through 266, and it goes over here through 267, and it goes back through, I think it's one of these two. I don't know which one of these is L90, was it 79? One of those is L, but all of those read good. I say that, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But then they go through from that point off through over here to U97, and they go over here to U91. Now if we look at the drawing again, let's go through. You can see the blue input comes through here. It goes through 266 to ground, 267 to ground through L79, and it goes to this splice point, and it runs through to U91, pin 4. Remember that, U91, pin 4. And it also runs down from this splice point through all these resistors to multiple pins here on U97 right there. So again, U97 is this guy here. We have this chip involved with the circuit. We have this chip involved with the circuit. We have 267 and 266 that feed right through into our pin. And one of these two inductors, but they're good. So I mean, if you can hear it, if I test this inductor here, that's good. This inductor here is good. This inductor here is good. This one here is good. So yeah, this is L78. So I think this is L79 or one of these two. It doesn't ultimately matter, but check this out. If I go to 267 and 266, these are the two capacitors in the circuit off the blue line. If I test 266, shorted. 267, shorted. But it's not quite shorted. It's like 6.6 ohms. If I go to ohms instead of continuity mode, and I test 267, 6.4 ohms. 266, 6.5 ohms. So I don't think we have two bad capacitors. So if we go to U91, remember U91 pin 4? If we go to U91 pin 4, it's pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.1 ohms. So if we go to U97, and we'll just go back to continuity mode, because you can hear if I go to ground in pin 4 here again on U91, yeah, if I go, see, that says 6 ohms. Now if we go to U97, this pin here is ground. That's a 0 ohms, but if we go to the rest of them, none of those are shorted. That's the ground. So U97 is good. But we have pin 4 of U91 reading to ground, and it shouldn't be. So the problem here now is it U91 or is it our filter caps? Now, it's very unlikely it's the filter caps, so let's take those out of circuit first and see if we still have our shorted U91. If we do, then we'll swap out U91. So let's get the hot air station going here. It won't take but a moment here to heat up. Let's grab our tweezers. And we'll start with U267 here. All right. Just like that, that guy's off. And now let's try U266. And just like that, that guy's off. And we'll set those aside so we put those back in the right order later. So now, let's see if we get our short still. I'm just going to go right across the pads here, and if it was one of those two caps, we won't hear the beep. So let's just test our two legs. Still shorted. It's at 10 ohms now. Let's see if we can show this here. Let's go here. It's actually 10 ohms now. So with our two filter caps out, you know, it's hot. So as it cools down, you'll see it trickle down. There you go, 7.9, 7.8. So yeah, now it's time to remove our U91 and see if our ground pin shorts to pin 4. And our ground pin is should be pin 8. Should be this pin. Yes, that's our ground pin. And if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, that's our 7 ohms. So now it's time to remove this chip and see if it reads to ground internally in the chip. Let's see, I guess we can go ahead and do it this way. Right out, like a glove. So we want to make sure we didn't disturb any of the other surface mount chips, and apparently we did not, so that's good. If we zoom in here and take a look, everything appears to be intact. Nice, quick, easy extraction. So now the question remains is if we test our pin, or if we test our chip here, our ground pin should be a ground pin should be this pin here, and it should not ring to pin 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got a bad U91. So we'll set this aside and let's go ahead and put our 267. Actually, you know what? Let's make sure that we are no longer reading shorted on our pads here, and we are not. So let's get our surface mount parts back in. And we'll have to tap these with the iron here. Get our orientation correct. Okay, that one's back down. Ah, dang it. That one turned on me. I'm holding on to that one too much here. Hang on. Alright, let's try again. I need to add, I should have flux on here, but I'm too lazy. Let's grab a little solder on. We'll put the little solder on here. Okay. Let's try this again now. There we go. Now, let's see if we can make it look a bit better. I think that should be all right. Let's take a look a bit closer here. That's a bit too close. Oh, I knocked one off. Put this in frame here. There we go. That's a bit better. Alright, not beautiful, but let's see if we can just kind of make it look a little bit better. Oh, my damn iron timed out. Hold on a second. I gotta let it heat back up here. 362. 390. 450. For 575, 580, 600. Okay, that should be good enough. So let's just take a little bit of this off. Try to make it look a bit better. Okay. I think that's fine. And we'll clean it up a bit later, but those are back in. So now, let's steal... Oh, I've already stolen U91. I've stolen a bunch of these chips apparently. So let me grab another board here. Well, looks like I grabbed this one at random. Looks like I need to grab another one. I got a whole bunch of these parts boards. Let me go grab another one that has a U91 and I'll be right back. Alright, I was able to successfully acquire a parts board with a U91. So the first thing before we work on the other board is take this one out so it has plenty of time to cool down before we stick it in the other board here. And let's go ahead and zoom in a bit. There you go, nice and easy. Quick, easy extraction, and everything came out intact. So, yep, ready to go. So we'll set this aside, let it cool down, and in the meantime, we will work on clearing these holes here. Now, my desoldering gun is broken. It has seen better days. It's a bit broken. So it's out of commish until I get a new one. So for now, we'll just use the desoldering braid. It works fine. Yeah, I don't want to get these mixed up. So let's mark the bad one with an X. There we go. And this is the good one. It is indeed. Let's double check. I don't want to do this twice. Pins, let's see. It mounts in this way, so we want pins. This is the ground, and pin 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing. Good. If we grab this one, and it mounts in this way. If we go to our ground pin and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. I was in ohms and not continuity. So this is our bad one. So we'll set that aside. We'll put our good one aside. So let's get our work done here. I need to snap a quick picture. And there we go. For the visual log there. So let's work on getting this out of here. It shouldn't be very difficult. Nice and easy. See, there's one already. 2. 3. 4. 5. And I imagine our ground pin is going to be tough because the ground plane is much larger. And you don't want to, all you want to do is very gentle pressure. You'll have to get that one from the underside. Very gentle pressure, because if you push too hard, you will damage and break the traces. So you just want to kind of apply very, very, not minute, but a gingerly amount of pressure. See, there's our 5 volts, and that one's a bit stubborn. But if we go to the next one, yeah, you can't always get all of them. They don't all come as easy as the top one, come out as easy as the top one did. Easy for me to say. Sometimes you can, a little trick of the trade is to cut off your braid and stick the corner in the hole, and then put your iron on there, and it'll get down inside of there, and it'll work it out a lot easier. So if I just put the corner of the braid in the hole and go like this, open, yeah, see, that worked perfectly. So if you get stuck, sometimes you can do it that way. You can also try taking this out from the other side. But as you can see, this works pretty well. There you go, quick and easy. So we've got our 5-volt hole and our ground hole, which of course are the two that I would completely expect to be stubborn because the plane is much larger. So again, we'll go to the bottom side here and we'll try our trick of using the corner. There you go. And oh, you rat bastard. Stubborn, eh? That ground plane is always a tough one. Yep, sometimes you gotta add more solder to it, and while you've got it hot, throw the braid back on it like that. Sometimes you can get lucky that way, but not this time. Okay, let's turn it around. Let's see if we can get it. Let's try the corner trick again. Get rid of that. And there you go, I see it. Oh, come on. Get down in there. Get down in there. Get down in there. Man, this is being stubborn. I'm half tempted to just heat it up and blow it out of there. I wonder if that'll work. Unorthodox method, but sometimes that works. Heat it up and just blow it out of there. Nope. Not quite. Well, let's try this again. Give it some time, just very light pressure. Get that corner down in there. Oh man, well, this is dragging on too long. Let me get this cleared out and I'll come right back. Well, I literally just I cut away and turned the board over and put the corner of the braid in the hole and it came right out. So I mean, I was cut away there. The camera was off for about 6 seconds. So anyway, so you can see all the holes are clear now. So now we need to get my alcohol, which I realize I probably should have done that before I started filming, but then you get some alcohol, clean this off, and then we'll get our new chip installed. So I'll have to cut away here again and I'll come right back. Alright, alcohol at the ready. Got a brush here. Alright, just like that, we are good to go. Gotta get my stuff out of the way over here. There it is. Alright, so there you go. Nice and easy Looks great. So now it's time to, oh, I gotta remember to snap a picture here for the visual part of that. Alright, so now we have another U91 that is not shorted. Let's get this guy in here. Drop right in. Look at that. And we want to make sure we get the notch on the chip lined up with the arrow. And as you can see, it is, so we're not in backwards. Let's make sure all of our legs are through before we even try and solder, because that'll bite you. Looks like they are, so let's tack in one quick little leg here. There we are. And let's get this guy soldered in. All right. Alright, now what caused this chip to go out like that? I can't say. Maybe they hooked it up to a monitor that was no good at some point, or someone did in the past. But I think we've got it. I think we have it licked here. Hopefully. Alright. Let's do some visual inspection. Yep, looks pretty good. And there we have it. So let's test it in circuit here. We want to go to ground, and we can hear the meter. So if we go to pin 1, 2, 3, 4, no short. If we go across 267, no short. 266, no short. I think we got it. I gotta take my picture here. And nothing to it but to do it. Alright, so here, without cutting away, let's go ahead and get this on the test bench here and fire it up. So let's zoom out. And, well, I may have to cut away because I don't know how I'm going to... The camera on my overhead here is upside down. I have to flip the video when I'm editing. So I guess I could probably cut the video in the editing and flip it around. So I guess I'm not going to cut away. I'll make a break in the video and flip it in the editing software, but I'm not going to cut away here. This will be live. So let me go ahead and disconnect my charger and take the video here, and see, I'll turn the camera around so now it's facing correctly. Let's plug this in. Okay, JAMA harness is on. Alright, here we go. Let's zoom out a bit and let's turn it on. And do we get blue? I'd say we're good. Let's get past this. I can tell you already we're good to go. Look at that. Outstanding. No pun intended. There we go. So, success. We had a bad U91. Go ahead and turn it off. And place this back down here. So there you have it. Nice, quick, easy fix. Bad U91. So, thanks for watching. Yeah, off camera, I'm gonna swap out all these these little plastic white feet and put them on this board so we don't have to worry about any issues with these darn things again. So yeah, thanks for watching. Awesome. So appreciate it. And it was quite the adventure. Nice, quick, easy fix.